Hey everybody, sorry for the short hiatus there, but I am back. I'm going to do a full review of this S5 Audi Sportback. It's a 2024. It has the Sport package, the Optic package, the carbon fiber interior, the O&B, or B&O, I'm sorry, B&O sound system. You can see it has the slider on top, the sunroof, and some of the things that they have changed with this car when you do get the Sport package is that now all of the badging here is silver. The badging on the rear along with the front rings is blacked out, along with the tailpipes. The S5 is also blacked out. That used to be silver. Let me get to the back here. See that? So everything really kind of ties in, it blends in. And this color, Navarra Blue, which is one of their standard metallic colors, I think it's a upcharge of like $695 or something. Absolutely stunning. To me, probably the best color that they have, outside of going to an exclusive color, which you guys know I had the deep green pearl effect one that was lost to Hurricane Helene. It was a 2021 with the gray Alcantara interior. Absolutely stunning. Loved that car. Would not have gotten rid of it if it wasn't because of the car getting flooded. However, this car, this setup is exactly what I would have gotten that was in the running when I got the green one. So this just happened to be on the lot as a leftover when I went to go look for another S5. And as you guys know, I came from a BMW, a 435 and a 440 or an M440. And those cars were absolutely awesome. However, when they changed the front end of that car, I went and looked elsewhere. I got into that 2021 Audi, just happened to get into it and never looked back. Absolutely. And I drove it for all of 10 minutes for a test drive. And here I am on my second one 5 years later. So great testament to Audi, the quality of the interior, the quality of the ride, the quality of the all-wheel drive. Never had any maintenance issues outside of the green one that I had the overflow tank cracked, and they just replaced that under warranty. So let me just do a quick little walk around here, and you can kind of see this car from all angles. And then we'll also look under the hood here. These cars come with 349 horsepower and 369 foot-pounds of torque. And it goes, you may have to downshift. The gearing's a bit different with compared to the BMW. BMW is instant horsepower. It also has more torque, and that car the power is instantaneous. It's a lot more sport than this. However, this one here is a beautiful balance between everyday driving and utility, especially with the Sportback, that you really can't find in the BMW. It's just enough power to go throughout the day, and if you want to get on it, you go down a gear and you do your thing. So there's nothing lost here. It's just a different idea on the same thing. Let me see if I can get a good look here with the sun now coming over to the other side. See if I get a good look here. If you guys can see the reflection off of this paint. Now this paint, just to give you a brief history before we get onto the inside, and then we'll go over the options and the window sticker here and the future of these cars, okay? This car has had a 2-stage paint correction. The front, it has Ceramic Pro throughout, and it has the PPF on the front which means the front, the A-pillar, the side view mirrors, the quarter panels, the hood, and the entire front end. And I will tell you this, people may think because you have this big grill here that you're saved from getting rock chips. And I will tell you, especially living in Florida, that when you're doing 75 miles an hour on that highway, or as people do most of the time here, more than that, and a piece of debris is flying back at you at almost the same speed, it's hitting your car at like 150 miles an hour. And I will tell you this, the smallest little projectiles will start to decimate the paint of the front end of your car. There is no two ways about it. Everything up in this area here, just above the grill, is fair game. Everything off to the left and to the right, down in here, same thing. It's one of those things where you need to do this. It costs a little bit. I think this costs just about maybe a little bit over $3,000 to do everything. But what it did do is to preserve what you bought. And so Jonathan from Fantastic Customs here in Sarasota did a phenomenal job on this car. As you can see, there's also ceramic coating on the wheels and on the windows. So he did a little bit more in addition to the piano black interior, which I was hoping that they were going to change that middle piece there to carbon fiber, because that does or can scratch if you're not careful, okay? But we'll get into that in a little bit. Also, the car has tinted windows. Those tinted windows was done by Clearwater Audi, and big thumbs up to them and a huge appreciation to them as well. They did a phenomenal job. When I went there, after I lost my car, and pretty much before I even got any monies from losing that car over, and we worked out a tremendous deal on a leftover. And again, between the first lease, and then buying out that lease, and then buying this car, I basically bought 3 cars from them in 4 years, so 4.5 years. And so they did a phenomenal job, and I will continue to go back to them. And if you are looking for a car like this, I would suggest to look at their inventory, see what they have, and if you see anything that you like, give them a call and see if you could strike up a deal. I would definitely go that route before you go any other route. So let's start with this. I'm gonna pop open the trunk and pop open the hatch before we get to the inside, and you can see how much room is sitting in here. These seats go down, this comes off. Once that's all down, this is almost as large, has almost as much room as a small crossover SUV. It does come with some netting. As you can see, I have some things put in here, umbrellas, especially during the rainy season here. I did find a sun cover here to put up front, a windshield cover in order to block out the sun, because the sun here in Southwest Florida will destroy the inside of your car. It also came with this covering here in order to protect the carpeting that's underneath it. I did not have this on the previous one. It only says A5 on it, but obviously it fits all of them. But so you just have to cut out these small holes here in order for, I didn't cut that one out, in order for it to fit properly. And then it has this covering here in order to give you a privacy cover, but you don't need to have that, and it is one touch close. Okay. That paint is just amazing. And the calipers, if you're gonna get this car, you need to get it with the Black Optic package and the Sport package. The Sport package gives you the red brake calipers. makes the car pop, makes the entire whole wheel setup pop. Otherwise, you're just going to have silver and black, because without the red calipers, it does come as black. I can't remember if it just says Audi on it, but it does not say S, as this one does for the S trim model. But you kind of lose, it gets very subdued, and it almost kind of gets lost. You don't really see the wheel set up with that. Here, let me pop open the trunk. It does, you don't need anything to hold it up. The struts keep it up. Like I said, it's 349 horsepower, 369 torque. And there's a Fox body, Mustang GT 5.0. Haven't seen that one around, but hopefully I see it more often. Absolutely stunning car. And it's white with red interior. I gotta get in touch with him. So this cover here has everything under it pretty much. I was hoping that these would have either been blacked out. They look nice in the brushed nickel, but what would have been nice is if they were blacked out with carbon fiber. Either this piece here could have been carbon fiber, or the whole thing could have been carbon fiber, or at least have it as an option. Since it covers up like a third of the entire engine bay, it is right in the middle. It does get your attention as soon as you open or lift the hood. Would have been nice to have had something there that just kind of really smacked in the face and said, there's something special under here. So, but with that said, that's the only thing. Very smooth sounding engine. Like I said, no issues. I have about 5,500 miles on this car and no regrets. Let's get into the inside here. So with the door panels, as you can see, I always have a rag there, take out some of the smudges and dust and debris. So carbon fiber, like a satin nickel, and the piano black. This piano black, I wish was all carbon fiber. I think it would have looked a lot nicer, and it would have been, you would have had more protection against scratches, especially when you're cleaning. You know, every time you clean, you know, you get something and there's a little bit of debris on there. You may not even see it and it may scratch it. So just got to be real careful on that. Start it up. As you can see, there's 5425 in the way of horsepower. And the whole setup in here is pretty much the same since 2020 or 21. Has a nice little rumble to it as well. So when you get it with the Prestige Plus package, you actually can set up the vehicle, and you can go into your drive. You could set it up for comfort, auto. Pretty much it just kind of absorbs, it gives you the best ride given the terrain that you're on. You can go into dynamic, which is complete sport, and you can hear that it ups the RPMs. Here, I'll put it back in auto and you can see it go down. So the dynamic is your sport mode, and then you have your individual, and with your individual you can go in here and you can set it up. The drive, you can have it balanced or sport. I tend to put it on balance, so this way it doesn't take as much gas to do the same thing. Suspension, always keep it on sport. Steering, engine sound, present, which is basically when you put it on sport or balanced. I don't know if you could get it through here, but there is a difference in the tone of the exhaust depending on which one you have it on. So these do make a difference. When you have everything on comfortable and quiet, you can actually feel the difference in the drive. So I keep everything here on sport and present and just keep the drive on balance, and it kind of gives you a nice combination of daily driving. You have your efficiency assistant here, kind of just tells you how your rating here is on how you drive, basically. So I'm glad that the A+ is pretty much at the top there. You have your seats, which then you can start with the type of massage that you want and which seat that you want it on. And it'll go wave, need, stretch, and the intensity and which one to start. And you could see where it's going to do the massage on your back, which is really cool. You know, it goes through a lot of the settings here, and then you can have your favorites, but you know, your visibility for the rain, you know, if you want rain censoring and automatic headlights and when you want the lights to turn on. It's just a lot of things that, you know, your preference is what's going to dictate a lot of those selections. Then you have your radio, your media, your phone. All of these other ones are pretty much standard, so we don't really need to get into all of that. And then these are the three things that you use the most. So this is, you know, kind of sticks out there, and it's a good setup, very easy to read, touchscreen, very functional. With the new model that's coming out, it will be integrated. So this is going to go away. And I believe one of the options is also to have an integrated screen on the passenger side as well. But, you know, there are videos out there of what this car is going to look like for 26, I believe is when the new model is going to come out. But from what I've seen, the new model is more of a sedan. It looks more luxury-ish. Like this steering wheel right here is very sporty looking. The new steering wheel almost looks like it should be in a 7 Series sedan. But you guys check it out. You'll see what all that means. Then you have obviously your dash and all the pieces to it. You can go to, let's see here, your display, virtual cockpit. You have 3 different types of cockpits here. You have your Sport, which is right here. You have your S Performance, change now, and you see that changes. And then you have your Dynamic, which then, you know, kind of gives you the same information, different layout. It all comes down to what it is that, what you want, you know. So there's a few different things here, and then as to, you know, preferential type of a setup on what is best for you while you're driving to pick up on all the visual cues that you're looking for. And then with this view button here, you can change. Let's see if you could see it probably a little bit better here. So even within a selection, you have more of a selection on how you want to see your particular setup. So so this is all, you know, going to change, I guess. Obviously, with every iteration of a car, you're going to get that. Also, you know, getting back to this car here, you know, this carbon fiber here, this is a must. This is just absolutely stunning. And it's a very deep type of carbon fiber where there's a lot of quality built into this. And, you know, with the Quattro kind of sticking out here as it's badged, absolutely tremendous. And then you have your Alcantara. So it's a really nice combination. Alcantara leather, carbon fiber. You have your brushed nickel kind of a setup along with your black piano. So very nice. I love the color. That's one of the things that I liked about this. And I wanted gray, a gray interior such as what I had in the previous one, except this one is leather and feels absolutely amazing. And these are the sport seats. So they have under your knee type of support. So if you're going to drive a little bit spiritedly, that it'll give you the supports that you're looking for. Also with the B&O sound system here, you can set that up. Let's see if we can get back into here, into your sound. And you could go treble, bass. Let's see if I turn this on, maybe that'll make a difference here. And if we go back, go to settings. So you have your bass, your treble, your subwoofer, your balance fader. I guess there has to be some music, some sound coming out. Your focus of where you want the sound to come out, front, rear, all. Your surround sound, your 3D effect, and then your speed dependent volume control. So depending on how fast you're going and how much noise that could potentially make, the volume will adjust. So this way you always have a constant level of sound coming out. So now in the back, you know, usually there's an issue here with the back because of the type of model that this is. The roof line tends to kind of fade back here because you have a very sporty type of a roof line. It's the Sportback, obviously. So with me here, I'm 5'8" and fit here just perfectly. There's enough room here in order to sit comfortably, you know, and the seat is right where I would have had it. And I've never had an issue with anybody sitting back here, even the ones that are taller than me. This will set your AC or your temperature back here. You have your charging stations. And you have the same kind of door setup back here, with the difference being that you have a speaker right here, which everybody likes to kind of have that music coming on to them while they're back here, so they're not kind of lost. It does have speakers down here, but this right here, I'm not really sure if this is a tweeter or what, but the sound is very crisp all within this car when you set it up the way that you like it. To me, obviously you saw my setups. Sound is perfect for my liking. And then this whole setup up here, this makes the roof look much bigger than what it really is, but it needs to pop up and come back because of the sloping of this roof. And the big thing here is that the biggest reason why is because you do have a very sporty silhouette of a car. So you know, the shape just really is very accented with that grading going into the back end of the car. And you know, a lot of this is going to get lost with the new model. And also, if you liked the 2-door and the convertibles, those are, I believe for 25, those are gone. So they have gotten rid of those. The 5 Series or the S5 is going to be Sportback only. And the S4 will be electric. I believe all of the even numbers will have an electric motor. All of the odd will have a normally aspirate or an ICE engine. So not really sure how that's going to work out for Audi, but I guess time will tell. So let's take this for a little bit of a ride, and let's turn that off. We'll get this back on. So you kind of get a good feel of what this car sounds like and what it does. It does come with Android and Apple. I thought it was wireless, but the wireless really doesn't work well on this, at least, or maybe it's the way my phone is set up, but when I plug it in, it works just fine. 10 out of 10 times connection without breaking. So again, this is on the individualized setup. Let's go back to settings. Take a right down here. here. And that's the connection settings. Setting. Okay. And if I go to you'll see that the individualized turns it to sport. If I put it back to balance, it'll bring it back just to normal drive. And you can see the RPMs progressively drop. The suspension I always keep on sport, but you can hear just the revving of the motor, and it's just more willing. It just goes. So the car has, like, you know, more than enough to do what you want to do with it. And again, you could go through the gears using the paddle shifters, but there is more than enough here to get the car going. I know I mentioned before that BMW's setup is just more instantaneous, but they do have a motor that has 382 horsepower versus the 349, and a lot more in the way of torque. So the car is just really always ready to pounce, whereas this one is a little more subdued, better, well balanced. I think it's better for everyday driving. And when you want to get on it, you just tweak it a little bit and you're off to doing whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. So, but the drive is very comfortable with these Continentals. So I know this video is pretty much, some of these things are my opinion, but I do encourage you, if you are going to look for a car like this or this car, that you do so and try it out. Go take a look at it, try it out, make sure it is, you know, the way that, something that you would like, but also look at the new models that are coming out. So if you are in the market to getting one of these, then I would consider looking at the videos. There are a lot of them on YouTube that will give you a full go through on what the new car is all about. And if you like that styling better, then you can just wait for it. But if you like this one better, I would suggest that you don't wait, because if you do, you're gonna miss out. You will definitely lose out. Let's see here, let me turn down this road. See where I can turn around here. This is all backcountry. There are parts of town here that are being built up like crazy, but this is a very nice place to be if you like the country, like a lot of land around you. But so let me turn at this next road here. And the reverse camera is awesome. As you can see here, you have all different types of views on how you want that camera to show you the information that you're looking for. You have everything in front of you, directly in front of you, over the top, the rear, which is where I usually have it at, a little bit more of what you're looking at in comparison to here without the directional lines here. Just basically your surrounding, back and forward, right? And then how you want your camera, either just graphic or camera, and the volume, the beeping. So if you're backing into something, do you want it low, high, medium? Same thing. Entertainment fader, and then rear cross traffic assist. Usually have that on. And basically the graphics on this is like watching something on your TV. Absolutely really good. So let's see here. Let's see if I can. Yeah, there's no traffic at all. Perfect. So if I wanted to do a launch and I put it, now you could also put it in sport through here, and you could see that in sport, and you could take it off, put it back on. Okay, this is your electronic e-brake. Your park is right here, and then you could also put it into manual mode and go through the gears. Okay, or you could just put it in sport and go through the gears as they are. That got up to 60 quite quickly. So you're not losing anything on the fun factor with this car versus a BMW. So no worries on that end. Promise on my side about that. In driving both of them. So and then you have your memory seats here, and lock, unlock, all of your window adjustments, side view mirrors, what have you. And then up here you have your emergency and sunroof. So one closes the sunroof, then another click closes the sunshade. You got your lights, and then you have some of your emergency buttons, which I used when I got stuck with the other car during Storm Helene, or no, Debbie, I'm sorry, Storm Debbie, which dumped all the rain. So we had 4 of them last year. So take your pick, they all did something. So anyway, with that, let me see if I can pull over up here. Going through the gears, you can go, it is 8 speed, where the non-S is 7. And you could actually get, and I have gotten, between 26 and 28 miles. This doesn't show up because I've been driving the way I have, but I have gotten between 26 and 28 between both highway and off a back road driving to get to work. So and coming home from work. So this car can get good gas mileage. I do use the cruise control with the radar setting, so this way you could just set this and it'll keep pace with the car in front of you without ever running into a situation where you're going to hit the car in front of you. It will slow down as quickly as it needs to, depending on the settings that you have. You can actually set the distance between yourself and the car in front of you. And usually at the higher speeds, you set up a little bit more distance, but the system does work and work well. And when you do use that, you get the best gas mileage in this car. I have yet to run into a situation going to and from anywhere where it wasn't at least 25 miles an hour, or 25 miles per gallon, which for this car, with the setup that it has, is really good. So let's get back to where we were. We'll do a quick little walk around. I know this video has gotten a little lengthy, but it is definitely something that I've wanted to do for a little while. I just have not had time. Really busy with work, and over the last few weeks the weather just did not cooperate. It was either very windy or a combination of wind and rain. So let me turn this off. And I like the rings there in the middle. You also have your beam light setup. I always put it on auto, so this way when there are no other cars coming in your direction, high beams will go up. So the sun has kind of gone in, but you can still see the reflection on this car. It looks really nice. The whole setup with the wheels, The tinted windows really kind of do it justice here. And, you know, just overall, you know, just kind of just really sits really nicely. There isn't too much of a gap over the wheels and you know, in the wheel wells there. You got the black tips on the back, so it's just nice darker tone all the way across the car, and it's just a beautiful setup. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. You know, it's one of those things where especially if you're going to be buying one of these, that there are a lot of questions, and especially if you're a first-time buyer. Let me see what I got here. So here is the window sticker of the car. Hold on one second. All right, sorry about that. Phone fell out of my hand. So these are all the standard features on it. Comes with all of them, and as you know, good warranty on them as well. Then you have your suggested sale price, and then the packages that come with the Premium Plus package. You have Premium Plus, and Prestige. Prestige, the bigger things that come with Prestige is the navigation and the heads-up display. But if you don't need the heads-up display, that's obviously something that, you know, that is a big thing with the Prestige. And the navigation you could do on your phone and just plug it in. So the Prestige Plus is usually the sweet spot of where people want to look, because you get the most for your money. And again, it has the S package. It has the Black Optic package with the 20-inch wheels and the summer tires, the blacked out Audi rings that we talked about, and fender elements and badges and what have you, exhaust tips. And then this one has dynamic steering in addition to the Napa leather, the protection kit, and the S-beam, which is pretty cool at night when you see this. $295, is it worth it? But again, this was a leftover, so it's not like I had a lot of choice in that. But the dynamic steering, let me tell you a little bit about that. I did not have it on my first one, and I was hemming and hawing. It's $1,150, and what are you getting for that? And so when you don't have it, you get used to not having it, but when you do get it, you kind of get used to having it. And so it really does allow you to steer much better, more precisely, without a lot of effort put into it in really tight places. And it just allows you to maneuver the car, you know, parking lots and what have you, it just with a lot more ease. And at the higher speeds, it makes the precision of the steering that much better. And I noticed that in this car. And so, and there's an Audi right there. There's a couple of them floating around here. That's a beautiful color too. So, could you live without it? I would say yes. It came with this car. That's how it was equipped, how it was built. So it is what it is. But that is everything that comes with the car. Suggested retail price was like $68,565 for this car. So again, with the options, the car tends to jump in price, such as most of them. Porsche is notorious for that. But let me get in a place here where you could see it better. My Android phone gave me the ability to zoom in and out. My Apple does not. So just bear with me throughout this video where things seem to get a bit closer than I probably would have wanted, or had the ability to kind of pull the zoom back a little bit. But all in all, very happy with the car. The color combination, the packages, the power, the utility. Now again, with the utility, you have a sport sedan that you can drive like a sport coupe. You can fit people in here when you want to go out to dinner with another couple or whomever, go out to lunch with your coworkers. And then you also have the back where it's like a crossover SUV, a small SUV, where, you know, you go to Home Depot and you put those seats back, or you go to Costco and you buy a TV. You could fit that in there, no problem, and be on your way. So, you know, it does come with a lot of versatility with this Sportback setup. I personally would not buy a car without this setup. It's just not going to happen. The utility, the usages that you could get out of the car, just, you know, leaps and bounds over a regular sedan, and especially over a coupe. So again, it's where you are in your life and what you want to do with the car that is going to dictate what you're going to buy. However, there's a reason why they did away with the 2 doors and the convertibles, and only kept with the Sportback, because this was a big seller for them. Same thing with BMW. I just think that BMW took a hit on their design. The front fascia, first time I saw that, I went running and I ended up at Audi, and I've been there ever since. And it doesn't seem like BMW is going to let up with that front end on their 4 Series. So that will not be an option for me in the future as well. So anyway, with that said, we've gone through a lot, some jumping around and some specific things here as well. And I am happy for all of the comments that people had put out there as to where did the video go for this car and why was I off for so long. So I do apologize for both of those, but I am back, and we will do more videos on this specific things. Let me know what those are in the comments as to what it is that you want to know specifically about this car, if you are in the market to get it, either used or brand new, and if you should wait. And a part of that on that last one, if you should wait, is definitely a personal choice and an informative one. Go out there, take a look at what that new design is going to look like, both exterior and interior, the design and the makeup of the motor, and what people are saying about it. That's going to take a little bit of homework to do. I personally like this, not just because I've had it, but when you compare the two, this one definitely inside and out just seems much sportier. The new one tends to go more on the luxury side, where Audi has always been in the middle, luxury and sport. BMW, the more pinned on the sport side, but I think Audi is slowly, progressively going over to the luxury side of things. And so I think this may be one of the best balanced options that you can get, if you can find one, if you want to get an Audi. Okay, so just my personal humble opinion. But with that said, give any comments and let me know what your questions are, and I'll see you next time.